I see Jason is still connecting the audio, so we'll wait a second. All right, we'll get started. Hopefully, we'll have Brittany Yando join us in just a little bit. Welcome to today's webinar. This is the Information Technology Program at Tulane SoPA. My name is Bill Riles, and I'm the Associate Director, and I'm also going to be one of your professors in the program. And I'm excited to serve as one of your hosts for this event. And I just want to say thank you for joining us. I know this is going to be a very informative session. I hope we answer your questions you may have and give you some more information about the program. Most importantly, this webinar that you're attending today is designed to be interactive. Yeah, I'm going to be talking a lot. I'm going to tell you some things, but we really want you to participate with us. You can ask questions. You can hit the Q&A button at the bottom of the screen, or if you want to, just unmute yourself. Unmute yourself and say hey and ask some questions. And that's really the best way to get the information that you need, and we can tailor this webinar to answer your questions and be as dynamic as possible. So I see Miss Yando. Let me welcome her. So please, as we go through this, unmute yourselves, ask any questions that you may have, and we'll have a good time. So let me tell you a little bit about SoPA. So we can move on to the next slide from the end. So a little bit about SoPA. Some of you are probably familiar with Tulane. That's why you're here, and you may know the history. But one of the things that I think is really important and that I like to share is that our school, SoPA, goes back a very long time. The School of Professional Advancement, or SoPA as we call it, focuses on working adult students and applied learning. We're a highly diverse school within the university. We have students ranging from 17 to 77 in all walks of life. Like I said earlier, it goes back far in history. The university itself was founded in 1834. The predecessor to SoPA was formed in 1886. It started as an outreach division with a mission to offer classes to teachers. Ever since then, there's been various iterations of the school. It was named University College in 1942. And after Hurricane Katrina, it was named the School of Continuing Studies. And most recently, in 2017, it was renamed and rebranded SoPA, School of Professional Advancement, to be more closely aligned to our mission. And Tulane is actually quite unique as far as private universities or elite private universities having this type of long-term commitment towards applied learning for a school like SoPA that makes the working relationship with industry, and your courses are designed to be career focused. So why SoPA? In higher education today, you've got access to more educational options than ever before. You can go to college anywhere, especially in online learning after the COVID-19 pandemic. But why choose Tulane? Why choose Tulane SoPA? Well, there's several reasons. One is depth online. We've been doing online classes well before the pandemic. We were online before online was cool. Our online courses are professionally built for online. There wasn't just a regular course that was offered on ground and put a camera in front of the instructor and now became an online class. These courses are built by instructional designers, graphic designers, subject matter experts, and our regular faculty as well. And another thing that why I choose Tulane SoPA is I mentioned our faculty are industry experts. We have an industry advisory board. We went to our industry advisory board when we built this program and said, what type of graduates do you need? What type of skills do they need to have for you to hire them? We have a great industry advisory board. I'll talk about that in a second. The program is applied and academic. I said earlier that our programs and our courses are career oriented to get you the skills you need in the workplace, but they also are academically sound as well to meet academic accreditation to have a lifelong degree. And this is kind of very, very cool. You've got the ability to earn professional certifications like CompTIA, certified ethical hacker, AWS cloud, along with your degree. So you can get college credit for that and get industry certifications as well. On the screen here is student support. You're going to hear a little bit more about this in detail from Brittany, one of the academic advisors. But most importantly, you're not thrown into a class and wish good luck. You become part of the family. And Brittany's going to tell you about all the plethora of support services that goes well beyond the classroom. And you know what? Probably one of the most things is most everybody looks at is the cost, the affordability and flexibility. You're probably aware that Tulane is an elite or considered an elite private university, a top 50 university in the nation. But Tulane SoPA actually offers very affordable rates. And there's various scholarship opportunities. And then I mentioned the flexibility. All of our graduate programs are online. And if you undergraduate courses, a lot of those are online as well. And you can take as many classes as you like. You can take one per semester, or you can take multiple. You schedule this learning opportunity to meet your needs where you are in your life. Then there's also on the far right-hand side of your screen, the Tulane badge. And what can be said more about Tulane, the Tulane name? You're not just graduating with a college degree, you're going to be graduating with a degree from Tulane. That name on your resume alone will open up many doors throughout your professional career. So let's move on a little bit. Let's talk about, if you go to the next slide for me, Ann, the online learning. I mentioned that a little bit earlier, that our classes are custom built. Our online classes are custom built for your learning opportunities online. Myself and most of my colleagues that are your faculty instructors, we've attended classes as working adults. And we know how challenging it is to keep work-life balance. You got school, you got work, you got family. So the classes and the program was built with this in mind. It wasn't until I was in my late 30s working on my first graduate degree that I truly learned that I love taking classes. And I could apply directly what I learned in my classes over to my career and professional life as well. So let's talk about our different programs to study. We're talking about, well, let's stop for a second and talk about the online program a little bit more. Let's talk about the scale. Go to the next slide, please, for me, Ann. The scale and the depth and the quality. I mentioned that we've been doing online for a while, way before the pandemic. Here's just some quick metrics that highlights that. Over 13,000 students have completed 31 hours of online coursework since 2018, well before the pandemic. We've got 8 master's degrees, 19 grad certs, 4 post-bac certs, and over 320 courses developed that were specifically developed to be taught online only. And we've got over 200 faculty that are certified in teaching online instruction. Okay, all right, we can move on. So let's talk about the programs of study. As you can see, the information technology program offers cybersecurity and technology programs as well. In academia, terminology can be a little confusing. There's the IT department, that's the upper level. I'm a department manager. My colleague Ralph Russo, under the department, there's programs. We got 2 graduate programs, information technology management and also cybersecurity management. And we have a plethora of undergraduate programs as well that fall up under the information technology department. Cybersecurity programs are also under the information technology department. Both graduate and undergraduate degrees offer the opportunity to specialize in certain concentrations. So there's many options, even though there's one department and one program. So we'll move on to the next, please. In our bachelor's degree, we've got, you can just get your Bachelor of Science in Information Technology, that alone. You take your core classes and then you choose your elective. but you can also have the ability to specialize and get a concentration. And the concentrations includes integrated application development, product and program support, enterprise systems and cloud, and cybersecurity. Your choice of concentration is determined by which electives you take. You can tailor your electives to match one of these concentrations, or you can just take general electives from a variety of courses and have a Bachelor of Science in Information Technology. What's kind of cool is our accelerated or our 4+1 program. If you're an undergraduate student and you're interested in getting also your graduate degree, your master's degree, you can do that by getting both done in 5 years. So how that works is as your senior year as an undergraduate student, you can start working on your graduate classes, and they count for both graduate and undergraduate. So typically it takes 2 years to get a graduate degree. If you go through this process, take your undergraduate courses, then the 4+1, you can get your graduate degree in only 1 year. And like I said earlier, I will remind everyone that if you have any questions, unmute yourself. We want this to be as interactive as possible. We'll do some questions at the end as well, but if something stands out, just feel free, jump in there. And on the graduate side, I mentioned 100% online. The options, we've got the Masters of Science in Information Technology Management, and also the Master of Science in Cybersecurity Management. Now, both of these also have concentration you can go for as well. In the Master of Science in Information Technology, you can choose your elective and have a concentration in cybersecurity. So how that works, you'll get a graduate degree in information technology with a concentration in cybersecurity, or a concentration in emergency operations or homeland security. And the same is true, the Master of Science in Cybersecurity, you can also get a concentration in emergency operations and homeland security. It's not official yet, but we're working on a new concentration option that's probably going to come out within the next semester, giving you some hot off the press is other concentration options in data science and data analytics, cloud, big data, those type of concentrations. And if you're not looking for a full graduate degree, a master's degree, but you kind of want to get started with something outside of the bachelor's degree, you can start off with graduate certificates. These are shorter in length. They're 4 classes each. You can get a grad certificate in cyber defense, cyber leadership, cyber technology fundamentals. I'll talk about that one in just a second. And IT strategic planning and technology architecture. The cool thing about these is that they are stacked. So if you're not quite ready in your life to go for a full graduate degree, you can just get one of these certs. And after you get the cert, say the cyber defense cert, first one on the list, take those 4 classes, and you decide, you know what, I kind of like this stuff. I want to go forward. I want to go. You don't have to say, oh man, I should have signed up for the full master's degree. Those classes will count. They're stackable. So you get that cert, and then you can continue your studies and apply those classes toward your full graduate degree. And same thing for all the rest of them. So let's move on to the next slide. I'll be sure what's on the next one. So I mentioned that Cyber Technology Fundamentals cert. This is for anyone who is interested in getting a graduate degree in IT management or cybersecurity, but to get admitted into that program is pretty stringent. You got to have good grades, and you got to have an undergraduate degree in some type of technology, computer science, information technology, data science, something with technology, or you got to have a good amount of industry experience to get accepted into the program. If you don't meet those qualifications, it's not over. This cyber graduate certificate is the bridge into that. So if you have an undergraduate degree in any other discipline, music even, I admitted someone with a music major not too long ago, but now wants to get in technology and cybersecurity or in IT management, no problem. Take these courses. These are fundamental graduate courses. These aren't undergraduate, these are graduate courses that will give you the skills that you need to be successful in the graduate program. If you complete this certificate, then you will automatically be accepted into the full graduate program. All right, and let's move on. Well, let's SoPA difference. I kind of covered some of this earlier, but it's affordable. Our classes, the cost per credit hour is very comparable. We're not the most expensive, and we're not the cheapest. but it's extremely affordable, especially when you compare with other elite private institutions. Top 50 university, and this is very important here. Our faculty members, they're all current technology executives. You're not going to be taught by an instructor who graduated college 20 years ago and been teaching ever since. These are instructors who have been there, done that, bought the t-shirt. They're former CIOs, CTOs, CISOs out in large industries that's actually doing this stuff on a daily basis or have done it, and they also are your professors as well. So you're getting that blend of academic knowledge and also real life industry experiences as well. I mentioned earlier that we developed this program by going to our industry advisory board. When we developed the overall information technology program, graduate and undergraduate, we reached out to current students, alumni, faculty, and our industry advisory board and said, what do we need? What do graduates need to get job offers? Because that's what we want you to do. We want you to graduate and be successful in your career. And all the stakeholders, especially our industry advisory board, came back and said that 3 things: technical acumen, business leadership, and communication skills. A lot of times you can go to programs, all technology programs will teach technology acumen, and you'll get better skills in technology. Well, our program does it well. There's a lot of good programs out there that teach really good technology skills. Where we differ, we also teach business leadership to be executives, not only the widget makers. We're going to teach you how to turn the nerd knob, but also how to be leaders in the field as well. And most IT professionals lack the business communication skills, and that our classes will weave that into the program as well. So let's talk about the details of some of these courses and credit hours. So let's go to the next slide. I tell you what, let's talk about the faculty. I can't talk enough about how awesome our faculty is. This is just some examples. There's a link at the bottom there, SoPA, Tulane.edu, about SoPA advisors, faculty, staff. I recommend everyone go to that website, and you can read the bios of all of our faculty members. These are some awesome professionals. Here's just a quick example of some of your instructors that you're going to be working with. They're all professionals in the industry and widely diverse as well. Okay. All right, next. So let's talk about what can you do with this degree. And there's different options depending on which degree you're looking into. And there's no way, especially in the technology world, we can put together a complete exhaustive list of all the job opportunities that you might be exposed to, because the world of technology changes daily, and these job names are also changing very rapidly. Well, this is a good example of the type of roles that many of our graduates are getting offered once they leave the program. For the Bachelor of Science in Information Technology, you're looking at things like application developers, cybersecurity engineers, network admins, product Scrum Masters. So that's one of the concentration, product and program development. That's for individuals who want to be in IT, but not the technical side of IT. You want to run projects, documentation, the software side of IT. So that's a whole concentration you can get for that. DevOps and cloud. Okay, let's move on. And so next we're looking at other career options with the graduate degrees. And these are going to be very similar, especially because you can overlap these. You can get an IT management degree with a cybersecurity concentration. And of course, you're going to have a lot of cybersecurity options or versus as well, but there's different focus on both of these. So on the IT management degree, you're mainly looking for those top level executive roles: director, VP of technology, chief information officer, chief technology officer, enterprise architects, product owner, DevOps, and things like that. For the Master of Science in cybersecurity, more cyber specific, specifically the CISO, the CISO, and also other security analysts, system security administrators, forensics, pen testers are very popular, things like that. This is not an exhaustive list. It changes, but it kind of gives you an idea of what some of the jobs that many of our students go to after they graduate, or they intern during the process as well. Okay, next slide. So I'm gonna talk about now. We're gonna go over to what's mostly important, the real stuff, and I'm gonna turn it over to someone that knows all about this way more than me. My colleague, Miss Brittany Yandel.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Brittany Yandel, and I am the Senior Academic Advisor who works with the graduate students in IT and cybersecurity. So if you're on the grad side, we will have a lot of contact with each other, I'm sure. So at SoPA, you are assigned an academic advisor from start to finish during your program. That person will work as a resource liaison. So if you have kind of any sort of question, you're not really sure who to ask, you can go to your academic advisor first. We also assist you with registration, with course planning, any of the behind the scene logistics like graduation, and anything like that. We would be the ones to help you with, or your first line of defense to help you get connected to the correct person. Outside of academic advisors, you also have expert faculty with industry experience. So one piece of advice I always give students in this position is to build those connections with your professors, build those relationships. Your faculty members are from the industry and they've got a wealth of knowledge, and what better way to build those connections than while you're in school. And after school, or once you've finished your program, you might be thinking about what to do with your career. So SoPA has also a dedicated career advisor. That's Miss Cynthia Washington, and she can help you with anything involved in the career process. So whether that's mock interviews, building a resume, editing a cover letter, kind of anything along those lines when it comes to getting a new job or starting a new career, Miss Cynthia Washington is your person for that. And then once you've graduated, Tulane also has a huge network of alumni. So you will automatically be added to that Tulane alumni network, and you will be able to connect with other alumni across the country, across the world. It's a huge, that Tulane name kind of keeps going for you. It's a huge connection. It's a really great resource. So that's just kind of the benefits of becoming a Tulane student. Credit for prior learning. So some students come to SoPA having already worked in the field for some time. You might have a class on your curriculum plan that you've already worked in that area. You're kind of an expert on it, so you want to not have to take that class. So what we have is credit for prior learning, and what that allows you to do. Sorry about that, guys. My smoke alarm is going off. What credit for prior learning allows you to do is to build portfolios around the work that you've previously done in your professional life. So if you are interested in learning more about that, you can talk to your academic advisor first, and they will push you forward to the correct person. So undergraduates can earn up to 24 credits. That's from portfolio assessment. So, you've worked in the past, you build a portfolio surrounding a specific course. Examination. So you can also take specific classes to test out, or specific tests to test out classes. And then military training. You can also earn credit for military training. Graduate students, you can receive up to 6 credits, and that's from portfolio assessment. So applying is really simple. If you've attended today, you will, sorry guys, you will automatically have an application fee waived. So you will need to upload a clear image of your government ID and have your transcript sent over, and GRE is not required. So applying is really simple. If you have any questions along the way, you can reach out to anyone at SoPA, and we would be more than happy to help with that. Okay, so graduate application requirements. So if you're applying to the graduate programs, you'll need a BA or a BS degree with a major in mathematics, computer information systems, computer science, information sciences, engineering, or statistics, or a BA without a computing major. You would need 3 to 5 years of experience alongside that. You need a grade point average of 3.0 or higher, a resume and or a CV, and again, there's no GRE required. Application deadline. So for spring, the application deadline is January 1st. For summer, that's going to be May 1st, and then for fall, that's August 1st. And one thing I wanted to point out is that we do have early enrollment scholarships. So if you're applying for spring and you get your application in, you get accepted, you register for classes by December 1st, that is an early enrollment scholarship for you. So it's $200 for undergraduate students and $500 for graduate students. So the earlier you get your application in, the earlier you register, the better. So Dr. Ross talked a bit about this already. So tuition, we have $576 a credit for undergrad and a little over 1,000 a credit for graduate students. And each class is 3 credits. So you'll need to multiply that number by 3 to figure out the total for the specific course. We do have financial aid available. As a Tulane student, you will be assigned a financial aid advisor who will be able to work with you through the FAFSA process, through taking any loans, any scholarships, anything like that. Your academic advisor can help you find out who that financial aid counselor is. The types of aid that Tulane accepts are federal grants, federal loans, the Yellow Ribbon program. We also offer 20% tuition discount for active duty military and veterans, active and retired public safety personnel, and students who come from a minority serving institution. So their undergraduate degrees were from a minority serving institution. And then we also, of course, offer the up to 24 credits for work and life experience for undergraduates and 6 for graduates. All righty, any questions?
So Brittany, we have a couple in the chat. One came in from Jasmine. I recently completed a bachelor's in software development, interested in cybersecurity. What program would you recommend for me? Jasmine, that would be either the IT management degree with the concentration in cybersecurity, especially since you have a software development background. You have more of an IT type experience, IT management, but I would do a concentration, choose your elective in cybersecurity, or the IT management in MS degree in cybersecurity management. Either one of those, that was going to be mainly focused on cybersecurity. The IT management with a concentration in cybersecurity is kind of a blend of IT and cyber. So either one of those two would work out pretty good. Hopefully that answers your question. And we got a question from Trey in the chat board as well. Is the Cyber Fundamentals graduate cert the only certificate allowed to entry into the MS ITM program without prior experience? Well, that is the pathway. That cert, the Cyber Fundamentals cert, is the pathway for applicants who don't have 2 things: prior experience or an undergraduate degree in technology. So if you have an undergraduate degree in technology with no prior experience, that can be enough to get you admitted into the full MS and IT management program. If you don't have either, no IT experience and no undergraduate degree, then the Cyber Technology Fundamentals is your pathway. Great questions though. And let's see, we had another question coming in from Jason. If someone has the max job experience, prerequisite degree requirements, etc., how much timeline shift? 18 months to 12 months. Well, the previous experience and the previous degree prerequisites is the factors that get you admitted into the program. And I will say that not every applicant that applies is admitted. I don't know the percentage of admission rate we have, but it's a selective program. Myself and the program director, Ralph Russo, review every applicant. We may ask you for an interview. We look at your past grades and your transcripts. A lot goes into it, and that decides if you get admitted or not into the program. All right. So assuming what you described in your question is that you have all the prerequisites, you got good grades, you got experience, that you become admitted into the program. Now your timeline to graduation is not dependent on any of that stuff. And that's dependent on how many classes you take. You could take 1 class a semester. It's going to take you longer than if you take 2 or 3 classes a semester. These classes are not easy. I mean, they're doable, but there's some students who come in and say, look, I'm going to take it. There are you got to take for the management program in IT, you got to take 10 classes. For the cybersecurity management program, it's 11 classes. So you factor that into how long it's going to take you to graduate. And if you take 4 classes a semester, you can get it done in a year. But I wouldn't recommend that on anybody. That workload is way too high. 2 classes at the graduate level is considered full-time. By doing that, you can get it done in about 2 years. If you want to increase that timeline and make it faster, you can just take more classes. Hopefully that answers your question. Great questions by everyone. If anyone else has any questions, you can pop them in the chat, or you can just feel free to unmute yourself and just speak up. But outstanding questions, though. See if anyone else has any questions. All right. Yeah, Brittany posted some great information there. Brittany, how many classes per semester do you feel like in the graduate program? This is graduate program. Do most students take? Is it 1 or 2 or 3? What's the average? Would you think?
It varies a bit. I would say the average is 1 or 2 a semester, depending on the job that the student has and their workload outside of school. So students who are, not working and they're in school full time, they can of course have a little bit more flexibility to take maybe 2 to 3 classes. But those who are, have full-time jobs as well, usually 1 to 2 classes is the average.
Great information. Any other questions? Brittany covered the ways to apply. So we're looking forward to seeing your applications, and we'll review those. And more importantly, you'll see me in class. You will not escape any program without seeing me at least once in one class. So I'm looking forward to seeing you in class and helping you achieve your academic and professional goals. All right. Well, if we don't have any other questions, you can feel free to reach out to us later at any time, and we'll follow back up with you. All right. Thank you, everyone. Great webinar. Good questions.